What's going on, guys? Good to be back here for the newest dev vision and roadmap for season 3. And if you're thinking July, baby, holy summertime swimsuit skin potential for the season 3, think again, guys. We're trading sunscreen for symbiotes and suffering just as good. And hot girl summer is turning into host girl summer with the Abyss Awakens. Now, all right, for the first bit of news, guys, as you know, this is our first 2-month season opposed to 3. And so that means we're going to get a brand new hero each and every month, which, if you ask me, is freaking crazy. Now, if you guys just saw the trailer that launched a couple hours ago, you know they teased 2 different heroes, Jean Grey and Blade. And if you've just been waiting for Blade to wake up, right, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, because Jean Grey is gonna be the first duelist, and they describe her as kind of like Moon Knight, can prey on grouped up enemies, and she has a new chain reaction mechanic, so that's gonna be spicy. The ultimate they describe as doing a bunch of damage, but also can destroy all deployables, so like big group walls and rocket beacons, and potentially even things like Hela and going up in her ult form, so that sounds pretty good as well. Now, we did get a brief look at her kit when they teased the team up that we'll talk about here in a second, and I've got to say, design absolute fire, giving kind of cloak and dagger vibes. But we do know and now can confirm she's got 12 ammo and 275 health. And here's a brief look at her kit, her icons, even though they don't tell us all too much. In addition to this, because her team up gives lifesteal, I'm going to assume her kit has something to do with lifesteal as well. And don't worry, Blade enjoyers, first of all, he looks absolutely badass, but second of all, he's not going to be coming in July. He'll be coming in August, and they did not confirm this, but it sounds to me like he's going to be a duelist. I can't really see him any other way. Next up, guys, let's go ahead and talk about team-ups. Something cool about Rivals is not only do we get new heroes, but, you know, the patch changes change up a lot in the meta. But on top of all that, we got new team-ups coming in, and as always, team-ups coming out. Now, last season, I think we got like 6 of them. It was a hell of a lot. We're definitely not getting near as many, but we do have some sick ones here, and we're getting rid of 2 of them. Now, previously, when they get rid of team-ups, I think a lot of people miss them. They like them a lot. The ones they're getting rid of now, I don't know if they're well liked. I don't use them all that much, but Squirrel and Spider-Man's team up is now gone, so you don't have that new or that old kind of CC ability. And then outside of that, we're losing Human Torches and Storm's team up, which, let's face it, I know you're gonna miss it a little bit, but Jeff Nato kind of took its spot, right? But now let's talk about the new team ups, and I'm cracking up because it's like they took a list of all the heroes that people hate dying against the most for every role, and they gave them new ways to do that even better. First up, we have the Phoenix and Wolverine, who's now going to get a burning mechanic on Feral Leap that kind of adds damage over time on enemies that he kidnaps. And on top of that, he gets a life steal on every single ability. You know, because Wolverine, he just wasn't good at all, right? Next up, we have Ever Burning Bond, which is a Human Torch and Spider-Man team up where it looks like Human Torch is going to be the anchor. This now gives Peter Parker a brand new ability to deal AoE damage and add a Burning Tracer to a hero. To break that down even further, they did elaborate and say that the Burning Tracer and the Spider Tracer can go on one hero. So to translate that, we're all screwed. But to be fair, he is losing his 10% season bonus with the Squirrel. And so at least, you know, 10% less damage. Maybe that helps out a bit. I don't know. Oh boy. Next one up, guys. Squirrel Girl is being added to the Start Protocol. Now, so in addition with Ultra, now Squirrel is going to get a Nanotech Gauntlet. This gives her a brand new ability that has a homing squirrel that explodes on impact. But don't worry, PETA. They do mention that the squirrels, they jump off before the explosion. So yay. So let's recap on these team ups. Squirrel, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and oh yeah, Hela. Hela will be added to the Jeff and Venom team up, Symbiote Shenanigans. This is going to allow her stun, her Soul Drainer to have a new effect that will now have Symbiote Tentacles link everybody together, kind of like Jeff's healing, but will also slow their movement. All right, next up, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the buffs and the nerfs to the heroes. They always give us a little bit of a peek into the patch notes that come out in the next couple of days that dramatically change the game in a multitude of ways. And let's kick off with the Vanguard. So they talk about Emma Frost and how she's a touch too good. And I think that's a nice way to say it. She's pretty broken. Definitely one of the best Vanguards in the game. She was banned in every single pro game that I casted. Well, she's going to get nerfed a bit, and they didn't address kind of how, but she will. On top of that, though, we get some buffs to The Thing and Venom. They don't talk about Venom, but I'm glad he's going to get a buff in the Symbiote season. But The Thing is getting something that I think Vanguard players are going to absolutely love, a way to deal with flying heroes. It looks like Jean Grey, or at least sounds like she's highly mobile, so she could potentially also have brief flight. So that's adding up a bunch of different heroes that can fly in the game that are definitely just wreaking havoc on a good majority of the ladder. Well, the Thing has a new ability called Battle Blitz, allowing him to jump directly to an enemy and throw down a stone haymaker mid-air that, if timed right, can take down flying units. They go on to address that they want to give more abilities for vanguards to handle aerial duelists, and I think this is probably a good idea because right now you can't really do much about Iron Man, Ultron, all of them just throwing down hell upon you. Now, again, there's a lot more than this, most likely, but these are the ones that are teased. And we move on to duelists with a good amount of nerfs to kick things off. First of all, we've got Iron Man, who they said his poke damage, aka probably his spell damage, his AoE from his primary, is going to get touched down a little bit. On top of that, Punisher and his turret is too strong, and his ult is charging too fast to their liking. Again, both these heroes we saw a good amount, especially in pro play, but you see it all the time in ladder. Now, probably a little bit confusing for the majority of people, but Mr. Fantastic in his inflated state is going to get a touchdown on his survivability, which he's not good in high elo, or that good, shall I say, but he's a menace in low elo, and so my guess is by their stats, they just see him tearing up a new one down there, so they're going to touch him down just a tad. However, on the buff side, they'll be boosting Namor's primary, or at least his Triton attack, and Scarlet Witch, once again, I think this is like, I don't know, a couple patches now, they're going to be making her ultimate a bit stronger. Now, again, all these are teases. We're going to get specifics, and I'll make a couple of videos on my first impressions and the side-by-side. But we end with strategists. So, triple res comp, the zombie comp, Adam Warlock, his passive that he gives to Mantis and Star-Lord, is a touch too strong as well. So, we're going to see some type of nerf there, probably an adjustment to the cooldown of reviving, if I was going to take a guess. But in turn, and thank God, Mantis lovers, you can rejoice. Mantis is going to get improved healing, and her ultimate is going to get a bit better as well. In addition, guys, they also say Invisible Woman is going to get a bit touched up in her healing capabilities. Ultron, I believe, is getting a small nerf, as well as Loki and his ultimate charge time is going to get nerfed as well. Now, this section is going to be a little bit short, but we did get a small sneak peek at the battle pass that's coming out, and it is the power of the Phoenix. Now, 10 costumes are going to be coming with this, and because it's a shorter season, they're going to boost the amount of chrono tokens that you receive to make sure that you have a good chance at getting all the rewards. Just at the sneak preview, my God, are they cooking? We got symbiote skins for Rocket, the Jeff that we saw at the end of the trailer, a symbiote squirrel. And then, come on, look at this Phoenix Emma skin. Are you kidding me? Last up, guys, we have the everything else section. This is where I put all the quality of life stuff or little updates that they're adding, and sometimes it can be a big thing. Now, first up, guys, I'm pumped about this, but all the winners from the playoffs of Ignite across all the regions are coming together for the first ever LAN, and it's going to be hosted in China. And I can finally tell you guys that I'm going to China for the first time to help with this thing, and I'm gassed. I can tell you top of the bucket list is meet Gong Gong. I'm going to find him. I can promise you that. Fun fact, if you subscribe, it increases my chances to meet Gong Gong. But you guys can expect a bunch of cool content over there. Just insane, guys. I'm beyond pumped about it. And as a reminder, if you guys don't know, if it's been a while, I've got a brand new channel, The Cozy Cast, that has a bunch of new Rivals content headed towards it. Got a podcast, but a lot of fun projects that are going to be coming in the coming weeks and months. Now, next up, we have accessories that they're adding. So kind of like keychains and stuff that you can put on your hero that kind of represent them. And they have some cool ones, little callbacks to other heroes that potentially are going to come. Give us that ball. So if you're into that, guys, that's going to be coming into the game. Also, we got new Ultimate VFX. Now, these look insane, but they right away said that this is only going to be visible to you as a player to avoid visual clutter, which I think is a good thing. We get the tease here of Scarlet Witch and her ultimate, but new ways to represent heroes you love, and just, I think, a cool touch, especially if you stream the game, make content. You can also now equip any MVP screen on your character regardless of the skin. Also, some new skin home screens. A brand new post-victory screen that sums up your experience and the missions that you're gathering. They're also doing, I believe, new weekly missions that last and seasonal missions to get more stuff. So that's always good. And then Discord integration. You can now talk between the game and Discord, which is pretty cool if you play with a good amount of your friends. So there you guys go. That's the full season and the roadmap for season 3. I should get early access again, and so expect a bunch of videos. I think last season I dropped like 10 of them, and so we've got a lot coming this direction. Have a good one out there, and until the next one, happy rivaling.